बाबा नाम केवल, 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 बाबा नाम केवल। परम पिता बाबा की I think besides we have very few members join this meeting, but we can continue. Maybe people will be joining afterwards. So unnecessarily, otherwise the meeting will get delayed for further period. So the first point is to review what we discussed in the last Zoom meeting, and if any progress thereof, or if someone has faced any difficulties and issues, or the the Brush Samaj data which I provided, how was that, whether it has helped to understand what kind of data we should have for the Samaj as per the Prout requirements. So we will discuss those points. So will someone share that if there has been any progress on this account?
So, Dada, actually, I've been waiting for Roshan Dada to come and show us the data which he is having, because on the group he was showing us several data. So I just wanted to know what are the things that he has already collected and what are the things which are left. And I also wanted to know whether this data which he is having is in the PowerPoint or Excel format, or it's just a text format. So if he is there, so we can easily understand because he was telling lot many things about this Sahayadri Samaj in the group.
He said
So the
something.
work was stopped because of.
In fact, he is also there in our group. We have added him in our group, and we thought he will also come and will discuss something. But so far afterwards he has not responded, and maybe he has. I don't know whether he has the data or he has collected certain information. What our requirement is, or the requirement of Prout is, we should have a systematic plan. We have to have a systematic information. Information should be such, this should be based on some government data. Without that, if we talk something, then somebody will refute our data, then we should be in a position to tell, okay, this is the source of data, this is how, from where, this website we have procured the data. So that credibility of data is also very important. What happens when we are only speaking or only writing? that gives some information, but that will not be sufficient. And he has, I know he had come to Mumbai also. I know him in person, and we had a Zoom meeting in the sort of Brahma Samaj around 3 4 months back. So I'm aware of Roshanji. Uh, if he has data, if he shares with us, I think then it will be helpful to us. I don't know in which format he has collected the information, uh, but he was talking mostly of Vidarbha Samaj. He has some information of Sahyadri, but in his statement in the WhatsApp chat, he was talking of Vidarbha Samaj. Probably he has devoted more time for the Vidarbha Samaj than the Sahyadri Samaj. Uh, that okay. We can talk to, and I will be also talking to him separately. But barring that, have we done ourselves something? I mean, that's the point basically.
Dada, I have checked that the data is already available on internet. So
Right.
meanwhile, matlab, before I started putting up on my system, so I got so many other information from Roshan Dada, so I just stopped it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
once, in fact, I wanted to call him in person as well, but I thought ki let him come in the meeting and let's see ki how much material he has and how much material is required to be done. So
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is the thing which came in my mind. I should have asked earlier as well, but
Uh-huh.
this is my shortcoming that I couldn't talk to him in between.
It's okay, Didi. I think I will also talk to him. In fact, I did not pursue with Roshanji. He has on the very first day when he was added to our group, he flashed many information. That was relevant information. So afterwards, he has not given any information. I will talk to him also in person, or
Okay.
maybe next week I am going to Delhi. If I am able to talk to him in Delhi, I will be talking in person also.
Okay.
So, Suvendu Dada, have you done something on this?
नहीं नथिंग दादा मेरे को
अच्छा.
कंजक्टिवाइटिस हो गया था
Oh, sorry. हाँ हाँ.
तो इसीलिए आंखों से बहुत कुछ अभी
Then
दो
it's
तीन दिन से
different.
थोड़ा ठीक है तो अभी
अच्छा
काम
अच्छा.
चालू करूंगा
ठीक है दादा.
दस
Good.
दिन
अच्छा.
पिछले 10 दिन तो मेरा कंजक्टिवाइटिस में गया
Okay. So, could you read the breast mass report, दादा?
नहीं नहीं कुछ नहीं मैं पढ़ने को मतलब आंखों से कुछ
अच्छा
भी
अच्छा.
करने को मुश्किल हो रहा था तो
Okay.
टुमारो डे आफ्टर टुमारो आई एम हैविंग हॉलीडे सैटरडे संडे आई विल मेक अप एवरीथिंग
Okay. Okay. No issue.
अभी 2 दिन ही हो गए
तो
थोड़ा आंख ठीक होके
नहीं वो समझ गए मैं समझ रहा हूँ और उससे तो फिर आँख खोलने और उसमें काफी स्ट्रेन पड़ता है वो थोड़ी
हाँ
दिक्कत
यस
होती है हाँ ओके then we have not much for the review as such. We'll do one thing in the next meeting also. We'll have a review of the first meeting. We'll see that if things are in progress, and we will also take the information from Roshan Dada. If he shares with us, it's well and good. Um, but even if he doesn't share, say, then we have to ourselves do on
यस
this
यस दादा
part.
वी विल कलेक्ट एवरीथिंग
Right, right.
वी विल
Because
कलेक्ट
what happens when we are doing ourselves, na, then it becomes my information. Suppose somebody has
यस
prepared the report and he gives to you, you are just reading.
ओनरशिप हो जाती है फिर
So
ओनरशिप हो
that,
जाती है अपनी
because a person who is in the field or who intends to go in the field or who intends to do Sahayadri Samaj work himself, so it should be his information. So that will be
यस करेक्ट
very handy. Otherwise, this may not be very useful if somebody else is collecting the data.
आई
So,
एग्री आई 100%
yeah,
एग्री
right. Right. So,
Dada, I
uh,
have one more suggestion.
right, बोलिए.
Can I say or somebody else is interested to talk?
No, no, आप बोलिए बोलिए. हम we are only four persons so
Okay.
in the meeting.
Yeah. It's good that it's a cozy meeting. We all very few people. So what I wanted to say is that since that day when I had a question in my mind that why we are collecting the data and what we are going to do with it. So
Yes.
I was thinking and rethinking about it, and later on I came to a kind of a conclusion that these are the things which will first of all tell us what the
हेलो
entire.
हाँ
हाँ
आराम मिला कुछ
अनिल दादा, आप म्यूट कर लीजिए अपने आप को। हाँ, बोलिए दीदी।
So I thought कि actually the objective of this entire.
हाँ
मुझे mute किया, हाँ.
हाँ,
First of all to understand the entire topography, their culture and everything, and once
Yeah.
we, and in the same process when we will do the collection of data, we would
Right.
also come to know what their problem is. So
Right.
the objective is to find out where what the objective problem is and where the problem is. Where is
Right.
the concentration of problem in that area? So this, I think this was the reason Baba has suggested us to first understand the Samaj and their people, and then know their problems as well. And then there has to be a remedy to solve that problem.
Right.
So this is what meanwhile the thought going on in my mind, and I also thought ki we should start collecting the local newspaper of Sahayadri Samaj area, because local newspaper also carry the information about that area which is generally not there in the database that we are going to prepare. Especially the problematic part would be available in the local newspaper. So those those are generally nowadays all the papers are in the e-format. So we can collect it in the e-format and share it in the group. And if it is in Hindi or English language, I can read it. Otherwise, we have people who are well versed with the Marathi language as well. So they can go through the news and share with us, matlab translate and share with us.
Yeah.
So that every day we get a new news about this Samaj as well. We have to be updated with the current news also.
Yes, Didi. In fact, we have a magazine, Marathi Proud, which is being published in Marathi, and it is in a digital format nowadays. Earlier, it used to be a print format. So that magazine is good for our Sahyadri Samaj, because it was intended for the Sahayadri Samaj when it was started long back, around 20-25 years back.
Right.
So it should be our duty to collect the information from various districts or blocks, and some information we should give it to the publisher of Marathi Proud. And Charu Dada is responsible for printing of that magazine. He is also in our group. He is not presently not in our meeting, but he is in our group. So we must use that Marathi Prout also, and some of the local information, not to that extent which we expect, is also available there. But we have to strengthen that. It's our duty. Since we are not very active in the area, we have no ground information as such. We sit in the home and we are just thinking that we will do some Baba's job. But the Baba's job is, it requires a lot of effort. Okay, we will do something. We have started we are on the right path. We'll see. We'll do something on this. So, Devi, this is the thing. Now we can start with the points which I requested the members to give for the discussion. So I have also shared that I received the suggestions. One was from Didi, one was from Sunilji, one was from uh,
Anand Mani ji.
Anand Mani Dada. Anand Mani Dada is also not there in our meeting. So I think we can just one point by point let us discuss those issues. So we'll start with Mr. Singh Didi. Didi, you raised the issue saying that what are the special features of Sahyadri Samaj? I think that was your suggestion for
Yes, sir.
discussion.
Yes, Dada. Yes, Dada.
So what you thought of by writing this special features of Sahyadri Samaj?
I actually wanted to know ki what are the things they are best in so that we can make use of it. And what are the things which are plenty in this area so that we can think about using it in a proper way. So these are the special features which I was looking into initially when I suggested you. But later on, I thought we should also think about the problems that are existing in the area. And
Okay.
when I studied about Sahayadri Samaj on internet regarding what the Sahayadri is, so I also remember that in our school days also, we read that Sahayadri area is oldest in the Himalaya region. So this is going, if it is the oldest, older than Himalaya region, that means this is going to have the oldest culture also. So we have to look into that part as well. So three things
It
are
is
there.
Didi,
The
it is
which
not
are
Sahyadri. Swami is Deccan. The Deccan plateau, the Deccan area,
yeah,
geologically it is much older than the Himalayas.
yes,
So
yes.
it is Deccan, which comes around Hyderabad and the end of Sahyadri Samaj. So the
Acha.
Deccan
So this
area,
will
that is the oldest
acha.
area. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
This is my
I was
information,
confused
just
with
I'm
the
sharing.
name. I thought it's Sayadri hill area is also coming under Sayadri Samaj. That
Actually,
we are talking.
Sahyadri is one part. The what Dada is saying, Deccan, these are called Western Ghats. So they
Yes.
extend from the Gujarat border up to Tamil Nadu. So this whole mountain range extends from here, from Nasik, Gujarat border it starts, and from here it extends down to that entire area is called Western Ghats. Out of that, Sahyadri is a small portion. Then comes Kodaikanal, Uti, and so Madumalai range and all those things.
In fact,
So this is
Baba in his proud lecture, somewhere he has mentioned about the coastal area. Then he is mentioning from Bharuch, from Bharuch to Kosi. This is the Konkan area. Baba,
Konkan, yes.
this is coastal is a Konkan area, and from Kochi to that area is Malabar area. Then this is how, and from Bharuch up to Bhuj area, it is a Saurashtra coastal area, something like that. Baba has given a proper name for this.
Hmm.
So this is basically from Bharuch to Kochi, it's a Konkan area. And this is how, although this Mumbai comes under Konkan, climatically it is in Konkan, but Baba has kept this Mumbai in a Sahyadri region. So that's a different thing. So that's why we find that suppose rain in Mumbai is very heavy, whereas in Sahyadri Samaj, in the mainland, Pune onward, there is hardly 25% rain. So there is a mismatch in the climatic conditions. Sahyadri doesn't have this same climatic conditions. It is different in different regions because Baba says, and it is fact also, this Sahyadri is a rain shadow area basically. So this Western Ghat, they keep the total rain in the Ghat itself, and in the ground it doesn't rain, or it rains for a very little period, and otherwise it just passes through the region. Clouds will be there, it will pass through the region, but it will not rain. So that is the kind of thing, because I have been to Solapur and I have seen myself during rainy season I was there. The rains are, clouds are there, it's full of clouds, A lot of wind is blowing there, but no rain is taking place. So probably this is my impression on this. So when we are talking of special features of Sahyadri Samaj or Sahyadri region, suppose in Sahyadri, Nasik is also there. Nasik is not a dry land. Nasik has a river. It's a origin of the Godavari river is from Nasik, and it goes till the Andhra coastal area. And as we know, we are here in Mumbai that the all kind of vegetables, all kind of fruits, they come from the Nasik region. But the same is not true for the Solapur or Kolhapur and other regions. There are some people, some places, it's almost dry. People fight for the water, and there is no water available in the ground. The water level is very deep in that area, so that's a big problem. And Baba has suggested,
Actually, Dada, the water issue is because of cutting of too many trees and all those things. Because if from north the Godavari river goes, then from Mahabaleshwar the Krishna river also goes.
right, right,
And if you see the Krishna also as it goes down, it merges with Kaveri or something like that. So it also becomes very big river down.
yeah,
So actually it is problem of water management. So many trees have been cut and all these things, and that is why all we are facing the problem here.
yeah,
Otherwise, these two major rivers, Krishna and Godavari, if their water is managed properly, they rise here in Maharashtra, but then they, as they go down in Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh, they become very, very huge rivers.
there are very,
So the main thing is because of water management. That is the biggest problem. So if
right.
those things are managed properly, then I don't think there will be a problem. So much problem.
And Baba has suggested that in this
Hmm.
for Marathwada region, we have to have a lift and shift system of irrigation.
Correct. Correct.
So the
Yes.
water has to be lifted from the Konkan region, and it has to be shifted to the Marathwada region. And this is
Hmm.
the solution Baba has given. Uh,
Yes.
this is what I have heard. So I think that is the only remedy available. And plantation is okay. That's always a welcome thing. And the plantation should be there. Even the rain, whatever amount it is taking place, the water should be stored in that region. It should not be allowed to flow in the river, uh, because then it's a waste if it goes to the river. So there has to be check dam at almost in every 2 kilometers wherever there is a drainage system. So we should not allow that water, even which is raining there, to go to the river. So that will be also one of the best things.
Even the agriculturist also here in Maharashtra, because I am a part of a group of organic farming people.
Okay.
So those people also they say that the Deccan Plateau is very very rich in terms of mineral and soil. The
Mm-hmm.
soil there is very rich, but there is more greenery on the in the Konkan side.
Yeah.
That is only because there is lot of humidity in the atmosphere here, which is favor the plant.
Right.
And after rainy season, the climate there becomes very dry in the plateau.
Mm. Yeah.
So it becomes very difficult. So if proper water management is done, then greenery there also will increase to a large extent.
Right. Right. So when we are talking of special features of Sayadri, so we have to have a plan for the different regions. Like Marathwada region has a separate problem. Uh, the rain shadow areas, they have a separate problem. The area of Mumbai, Nasik, these areas, They have a special characteristics. So the planning has to be different. That's why Baba has insisted that we need to have information block wise. It's not block wise and district wise. Then only we can think of some kind of solutions. And it's not that we will have all solutions with ourselves. With kind of data which we will gather, we can go to the say agriculturist, to some scientist, some environmentalist, or something like that, and we should say that, sir, this is the data which I have got. Please suggest that what we should be doing. So these local people or these local scientists, intellectuals, they are the basically intellectuals. So they should get involved with our report. So whenever we prepare the report and with our findings, we must go and talk to the local people. Maybe they are agriculturists or environmentalists or scientists or any kind of people. So that when we have a data, we'll go and we'll take out their suggestions. And with those suggestions, we will form our opinion. It's not that we should have information ourselves, everything. That is not the thing. This involves local people. This is how the Prout Baba says that we have to involve people at the ground level. The only thing we should have a data, and without data, it won't be possible. So probably this special features of Sahayadri Samaj will need detailed discussion once we have a proper data with us, some kind of information collection, and then region wise, because Sahayadri is a big region, and I said there are three. It can be divided into 3-4 specific regions, and then each region we can discuss separately. So that's my point of view. Uh, should we go ahead with the next point?
Yes,
Or
Dada.
if,
Yes, Dada.
okay. Or if someone has some other point, then we can still devote some time. Okay. Sunil Dada, you had a point that involvement of crowd in politics. Will you explain that what you thought of while researching this issue, please?
Actually, Dada,
Uh,
now in Maharashtra politics become confusion. Like अभी आप देखेंगे जैसे मराठी वोट एक कंटिन्यू था, एक मराठी वोट को कोई तोड़ नहीं सकता था. अभी क्या हुआ कि बीजेपी ने क्या किया, उसको ब्रेक कर दिया दोनों को. अभी अपने पास एक अपॉर्चुनिटी है, बहुत बढ़िया अपॉर्चुनिटी है कि उसमें हम लोग इन्वॉल्व हो सकते हैं. तो अगर हम लोग इन्वॉल्व होना चाहें तो कैसे हो सकते हैं दादा? जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल अभी केजरीवाल इंटर like from Delhi, he is inter like फ्री इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल. उनका स्लोगन ही है कि फ्री इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल देंगे और हम हर जगह जाके अपना कब्जा कर लेंगे, जो भी है उनका, जो भी उनका पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है. तो अगर हम लोग प्राउड को अगर हम लोग इंटर करना चाह रहे हैं पॉलिटिक्स में, तो कैसे इंटर कर सकते हैं दादा? हम लोग का क्या स्लोगन रहेगा?
ठीक है, गुड. In fact, it's a very big subject in itself. I would say the Prout is a theory. It's a socio-economic theory given by Baba.
Yes.
It has been given not only for a study, for a application in the day-to-day life, for the in our present system. So that is what is required. As far as these local politics are concerned, or which we have discussed, Prout will not have that kind of thing. Actually, we need a revolution, basically. Revolution of a different thought process. We are not talking of like any regional parties or any national parties even, because their orientation is different. Suppose today we are living in a democracy. Baba has said, in this democracy, the human welfare is not possible. Baba has said, it is his words, that human welfare is not possible in the present setup of democracy. So we need to change the democracy. But Baba also says that in the in the present day governing system, democracy is maybe considered as the best out of the available system. Uh, but it needs a lot of reform. And Baba has suggested to what kind of reforms are required in the present day democracy. So there is a full chapter on this issue, and Baba is discussing in length. Three, four things I will just discuss. The election process. Baba says, suppose let us talk of BJP today. They are the ruling party. They have maximum number of parliamentarian with themselves. How much vote they got from these people? Around 35%. Now a party with a 35% of vote share, now he is ruling on the 100% people. So is it fair? Now 65% people, they are not with BJP, or they may be partly with BJP, or partly they may be against the BJP. But now this is what a group of 35% people will dictate over the other 65% majority. Baba says this is not a healthy thing. Then what should be done? Baba has suggested in the election process, we must see individually that a person who is winning the election, he must get more than 50% votes from that area. Suppose a MP. Today what happens? Just even if he has got a 20%, 25% vote, but he has got a maximum vote, he will be selected. He will be elected basically. Baba says this is not good. Then suppose there are 10 persons, they are in the fray of election, and one person with 30% of vote, he becomes the eligible for the selection. Baba says no. If he has not got more than 50% vote, then there should be re-election. Re-election in such a way, it's not that others will be also joining, will be in the fray. Let him only be a candidate, and let the people vote for and against. How many people are for that person and how many people are against that person? And if he gets a vote more than 50%, then he should be declared as a successful candidate. This is how Baba has said. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
So Dada,
this
it's
is
not clear. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
clear to me. I want to know how the re-election will take place.
Yeah. Okay. So whosoever is the first in the first run of election, and he did not secure more than 50% vote,
Yes.
then there has to be a re-election, and in this re-election, he is the only person.
Achha.
But now the people will be voting either for him or against him.
Okay.
Either for him or against him. So I suppose if even in the second chance, people only vote 70% against him or 30% for him. Just example. Then this election, he will be debarred from the process of election, and all the candidates, those who have lost, they will also debarred, and there will be a fresh election of the fresh candidate for that constituency. This is how Baba says. Until unless a person gets more than 50% vote, he should not be allowed to represent the area.
Right.
This is one thing. This is how Baba has said. Likewise, this is one thing, and then Baba also second thing, proud does not advocate for the party system. We are against the party system. Baba says no, there should not be party. Let the individuals fight the elections at their own, and then afterwards they should form the government. Then they should, suppose the 500 MPs are there, let them select their leader from the elected people. And these all elected people will have representation from more than 50% people of their region. So then that government will have a popular government. This is how Baba sees. Then second thing Baba has said, let me Baba says there should not be any person elected without election. Suppose nowadays it happens if there is only one candidate, so he will be declared, because there is no other contestant, he will be declared as winner. Baba says no, this is not correct. Even if there is one person, then also he has to go for an election, and then it will be for and against. Third thing Baba says, each candidate has to have his agenda, his planning, his strategy for the region, and that he has to give in black and white. He has to give in the writing to the people. If this is I am fighting for this election from this area, and I propose to do these things. In case he is not doing as per the manifesto which he has given to the people, then there has to be a system where he should be recalled. He is not doing a good job, so he should be recalled. So that system also should be there. So Baba has given likewise many suggestions then how we should improve the democracy. Otherwise, the democracy of today, and Baba also says that we should have a voting right. Baba, because we know that how the votes are purchased, how the rigging is done, how the vote capturing is done, how there are many ways of allurement takes place. Even nowadays the reports are around in the MP elections, people spend many crores rupees, 5-10 crores rupees to win the election. And this is how there is a corruption in the democracy. And what now we see that people are so much rich, and the moment they become MP, MLA, or any even corporators, so in a 5 years time they become a different person. They have a big car, big gadi, good house to live, and so many things. Then from where it is coming? It's a corruption. Who gives this corruption? This corruption is coming from this democratic system. Secondly, the economic exploitation is taking place because of democracy. There is I think, will be a very big subject which we can't cover in this limited period. So this is how Baba has said the democracy is not good for the human welfare point of view. So this democracy has to change. Baba has said that till the time a new system is evolved, we should continue with the democracy with certain reforms, and those reforms of election process and other things has been, as I have discussed. So there are some 3-4 more issues which Baba has said. So now the subject is what we should be doing as a practice. You know, when we are talking of Sahayadri Samaj, so the next step will be we have to be visible in the society. To be visible in the society, it is important that we have our own party, political party. Otherwise, why the people will hear to us? Why they will, when suppose I am talking to some people, they say you are just talking, but you come in the election. The basic thing is that you should come in the election. So, the very purpose of Sahayadri Samaj states that we should start a movement, and then also we should also have our own political wing. Sahyadri Samaj will be discussing in the second uh, stage that suppose you do a Samaj movement and you have done some job in the place and people have recognized you that Sahayadri Samaj is doing such a good job, they have a good thoughts, they have a good planning, everything is good. And with this same Sahayadri Samaj, somebody will go and register a political party. And then what you will do? All your job which you have done in the region, it will go waste because somebody has taken your name and he has got registration in his name. So it will be suicidal because people then recognize. Suppose we are not going as a Dilip or Mitu or Sunil, we are going in a platform of Sahyadri Samaj. Then Sahyadri Samaj has to have a proper registration under election commission. Once we register under election commission, then when we talk, we will be talking with authority. Then in a debate everywhere, people will take us seriously that no, we are the serious party. We are not just theoretical party. So that will be a second stage, but we have to have a database, then some activities in the region so that people start listening to us. At the moment they start listening to us, we must register ourselves as a political party, and then on that platform we should be talking to the people. This is how when you say that politics में proud को क्या करना है, then it becomes relevant. And our aim should be to register Sahyadri Samaj as a political party before or while going in the society, in the Sahyadri Samaj before. So that should be our aim, that should be our goal. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So Vendu Dada, do you have something to say?
No, correct. My information and your is matching.
Okay.
Whatever is my understanding and reading, it's all matching.
Right. Yeah. Devi, do you have something to say?
No, Dada, it's quite clear. And am I audible to you?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. Yes, Dada, it's very clear to me, and I fully agree with you that if we go for politics, from my point of view, we have to first of all work on ground and get ourselves acknowledged by the people, and then we can think about going for election and all these things. So movement is required. Plus, Dada, in this this program which we have started, we need to have margis from block level even, so that there should be a complete teamwork, and then we can work very efficiently. I say, Dada, you are mute. Please unmute yourself.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I was coughing, so I thought of don't let me not disturb. Okay.
So this is my another suggestion, like 2-3 things which I have suggested today is that one thing is we should have the regional newspapers so that we come to know what is going on. Plus, second suggestion is that we should have the margis of block level as well. मतलब district तो चाहिए block level की भी margi, we should make them a member of this group so that there will be a complete network, and whatever shortcomings are there with the information can be fulfilled by those people. And third is that beside collecting the information, we should also focus on what are the problems existing in that area. Like you have suggested that water problem is there and the solution to that problem. So those things, 2-3 things which I suggested for today.
So the South has to come in politics, but our politics is of different type. That's a basic thing. Because Baba has said that and we have all heard Sadvipra. Who are the Sadvipras and what are the characteristics of the Sadvipra? So we have to have first in ourselves, we have to find that we are Sadvipra. And without that, because Baba has given 2-3 things, a Sadvipra has to be adherent to the 16 points. Jam Niyama. He should be, as Baba said, that one should be physically fit, mentally strong, and spiritually elevated. So these are the kind of characteristics Baba has given. So we have to develop ourselves as a Sadvipra. We should try, and because when we ourselves develop, then only we can ask others for the good thing. We have to have a morality, and Baba has said that the Sadvipra has to have a spiritual morality, because Baba has given a differentiation. What is a simple morality, what is spiritual morality. So we have to have a spiritual morality. And Baba at one point of time he says that this fraud will be established by the intellectuals. We have to go into the intellectuals. We have to take their favor. Without intellectuals, the fraud will not come. Because to understand fraud, one has to have a high degree of morality, high degree of sadhana, and then high degree of intellect level. So we have to keep ourselves, and this is how the role of UPIF, the Intellectual Federation of Sahayadri Samaj, becomes very important. Because if we ourselves we are not conversant with the proud system, with the proud philosophy, and why Baba has said and what things he has said, then how we are going to pass on this information to the others? So, and this is very important, that it should reflect in our character that we are the good people. बाबा बोलते हैं कि साधुता होना जरूर है. Selfless service, the feeling of selfless service. We are doing not because that we should be, we want to be a neta or we want to be a big person. No, that's not true. Our only intention is service to the people. And for the service to the people, today people are not even able to give the service to the people, so we are there to replace them to serve the people. And Baba has given in the democracy also, there are many things are to be changed. This will not be overnight, but the intelligentsia, if they start picking up our proud philosophy, then it will become a big force. And these intellectuals only, they drive the society. This is how in politics we have to come with this kind of background. We have to ourselves make Sadvipra. We should try to be a Sadvipra at least. We should, for Sadvipra, it's very important that one should be intellectual. Because suppose a person without intelligence, if he is doing something, it will not have much effect in the society. That's what Baba has said. You have to be physically strong, physically fit, mentally strong, spiritually elevated. Spiritually also, by sadhana, we have to keep ourselves above society. Broad mind. The sadhana gives us broad-mindedness. So the small petty things will not bother us. This is how we can bring changes in the society. So this was the second point. I think that quickly we can talk of third point, which is also related to the second point of Anand Mani Dada. He has said that how many are follow proud in their own life. this is, I don't know what was his intention of putting this point. Since he is not there, so we will have to just make out. Fraud is a socio-economic philosophy. It has nothing to do with our individual life. But it is important when we talk that as a practice, follower of the Prout system, Prout philosophy, as a Proutist, so are we ourselves Proutists? So that's the important thing. Proutism, Sadvishwa. So again, the same thing comes in. Until unless we are ourselves not dedicated, we ourselves have a narrow sentiment, narrow kind of intentions, then growth is not for us. Growth will not come with this narrow sentiment. For growth, we have to have a very broad understanding. Baba has given this growth for the whole humanity. It encompasses any small region and this and that thing. But we have to work in each region. This is how the fraud will be effective if we try to become ourselves proudest. And there are many quotes Baba has said about the subject or proudest. Some of them I will just read. Baba says that Sadvipr to have exemplary conduct, selfless service, dutifulness, and moral integrity. And these four things Baba has said. So if we want to be practiced, then we have to be see ourselves that in these 4 points where we stand. It's not that it is difficult. It's only we have to change our thought process. Someone has to come out and dedicate his life, because this is not a small job. It's not we are talking about small things, involvement. It needs full-time involvement. We just take the example of Mr. Modi. He is a dedicated worker. He started from very scratch, and how he has worked his life. When he got the opportunity, he has, while he was a chief minister in Gujarat, he became very famous because of dedication, because of selfless service, because of that he did not involve himself in any corruption cases. Today he is Prime Minister. We may not agree with his many approaches, but as a person, he has dedicated himself to the nation. This is how people have liked him, and he is there from the last 2 elections. Maybe he will come in the 3rd election also. So we need to have that kind of personality. We need to have that kind of dedication. Then only the prowess in practice will be there. So that is probably Mani ji wanted to say, and this is how I perceived it. My point is, before we conclude, this people are not taking much interest. We are only 4 persons maybe. So when next time somebody comes, then he will not have any clue that what was being discussed in the previous meeting.
Dada, can I ask one thing? Like there are 2 things I want to know. First is it mandatory to have these meetings in English language? Because when we are talking about Samaj, we are talking about the regional people. So is it possible to have it in Hindi so that many people, like those who are not very comfortable in English, so they can also join.
No, the point is good. We have the reform of intellectual federation. Intellectual federation is what? It is the federation of the educated people. If we are not talking today in English, tomorrow when you have to talk with the scientists, with the agriculturists, with the environmentalists, how you will be talking? The Hindi, Baba has also said, is not a good language. Hindi has many limitations. We will not find words in Hindi when we start talking specific on the subject. Baba, that's why for a Samaj, there will be many wings. Like as I said, no, there is Student Federation, the Youth Federation, Farmers Federation, and Intellectual Federation. The other federations will be there, and that too. Then we have to use a local language. Local language is very important. So that has to be in Marathi. But since we are talking of intellectual federation, so we can have today we are only few Margis are there. Supposing that tomorrow we increase the scope, then we will not be talking in Hindi. So that is the reason that it's not that there is a bar. People can talk in Hindi also or in Marathi also. The problem would be you talk in Hindi, somebody talks in Marathi, I talk in English or somebody talks in English. So there will be a mismatch in understanding. So purposefully I have kept this in English so that we raise our standard basically. That's the intention.
Second thing which I want to know, I had a little query. One day I learned while studying about Proud that Baba advocates that the profit margin has to be shared with the all the workers of a company. This is what the Proud says. So I was just thinking, do any of our Margi who is having his own entrepreneurship, so is he really following it? Is the Proud being followed? Is that particular principle of Proud is being followed by any of the Margi?
Okay, the information is not correct. Baba did not say this thing. Baba has said this for the cooperative. When you have a cooperative, then the profit has to be shared among the cooperative members. And how it will be shared, then there has to be a formula, because you cannot equate everyone like a labor working and a manager working. They cannot be the same. So there has to be some formula, and that differentiation should not be more than 10 times. That also Baba has said. But the differentiation has to be there. So this is how things will be. Suppose in case of cooperative, Baba has said the profit has to be divided into two. One half of the profit to be divided among the cooperative members.
Okay.
Then the 50% of that should go to the all people those who are involved with the profit with the cooperative. So suppose I am a member of the cooperative, but I may not work in the cooperative. I have contributed. So like suppose we have a farming. There is one zamindar. He doesn't do anything himself. So if there are landlords, the 10 landlords, they have made one big farm. So they will get 50% of it in the share of their land holding, and other 50% will go to the labor, and those who are associated with the activity. So there are many things which we have to say, and the many industrialists we have in our Anand Marga, if they start following Anand Marg system, then I think their business will collapse. They are not following anything of that sort. they have to be commercially viable in this. Otherwise, the enterprise will collapse basically. What should be done or how it should be done is a different subject. I think whenever we have this kind of topic, we'll do some in-depth analysis because it needs a lot of understanding, commercial understanding. How the enterprise runs, we have to have that basic knowledge. There are many people, they do not understand even how the enterprise this runs, how the business runs. So without having a understanding of a business, if we start talking only something, because we will be picking some lines from the Proud. Okay, let me also say, Baba has given the four system of economy. To the economy, Baba has divided into four parts, which is now people do not know that there is different aspects. So Baba has given people's economy, psycho-economy, commercial economy, general economy. And how this people's economy, psycho-economy and general economy and commercial economy will work, there is a, Baba has given a discussion on this. So we have to have that understanding.
Right.
So when we go in detail, because
Yes.
just like that I say something and you pick up something, then it will be very dangerous.
Correct.
So Baba has given a very practical thing. Proud is just not a theory. How it will be used in the practice, Baba has given all those things.
Correct. Thank you, Dada. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, no, it's better that you raise some issue so something comes out. So this is how we can sharpen our understanding of the Proud. And I would suggest everyone now electronic edition of all Proud and Anmarg books is available at very cheap. It's hardly 2,000 rupees for the whole life. People should uh, use that facility online. They can keep in their laptop that electronic edition, and you can search it also by just you write Sadvipra, then all the things which is Baba said about the Sadvipras will be available to you. Likewise, politics or democracy or any word you choose, and you will have all the information. So that will also give a lot of understanding. So I suggest everyone, it's so cheap, in 2,000 rupees, you get all the Anumbar books including Proud books, and it is available in the desktop and for the whole life. And any other books which are added, so that will also be part of that electronic edition. साबले दादा आप थोड़ा लेट हो गए, क्या हो गया? I think he is not there. Okay. So should we conclude?
दादा नमस्कार.
नमस्कार नमस्कार.
पावसामुळे बाहेर अटकलो होतो दादा, उशिरा आलो.
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा.
इकडे पाऊस सुरू झालाय रत्नागिरी.
अच्छा, पाऊस सुरू झाला. Okay. So now we have covered the today's discussion. We have 3 points which came from Sunil Dada, Nitu Didi and Mani Dada. With our limited understanding of the subject, we have discussed, and I request that next time please give some subject matter so that you will be also studying those subjects, and then when we discuss among the group, then things will be more clear. So should we close this? Hello.
Yes, Dada.
Yes, Dada.
We can conclude.
Okay. So as per our tradition, and we'll have 1 minute of kirtan, then we'll close it.
Okay.
So who will do today's concluding Kirtan, if someone can. Okay, if okay, then I'm there. परम पिता बाबा की जय। बाबा नाम केवलम, 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 बाबा नाम केवलम। परम पिता बाबा की जय।
जय।